Hey guys, hope you are well. Just waiting for people to connect. Let me know if you guys are here. It'll be nice to know who's actually online. Let me know if you can hear me. That's another important part, of course. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure I connect on here. Okay, so let's see who's connected. Let me know if you're here, guys. Hi, Prina. Just trying to find out who else is here. Bhavisha, hello. We got Hinesh. You can hear it? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Just because I don't know how close I am to the mic half the times. Right, we're just waiting for more people to connect, guys. So, um, this, of course, will be recorded. It's also going to be put on the Facebook Live, and it will be on a replay. And I'm going to make sure that I also upload this whole video on to YouTube as well. So please do check the YouTube channel, and share it amongst your friends and family, because I know there are so many people that are not on Facebook. Instagram's good, but of course there's a limit to Instagram, and I'm not saying I want to go on about the weddings for over an hour, but we're giving you this platform to have any questions that you have answered as a result of the recent announcement in terms of weddings being allowed to take place. So just want to say hello to a few people. Sonia, hi Sonia. We've got Nikesh, Amy, hello. So guys, before I start, I just want to say I know there's going to be a lot of suppliers on this live, and I don't want to come across arrogant, and I'm not, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and everyone has their own way of thinking, and that's right. There's no such thing as right and wrong on this life, and so please do share anything that you want to share on the chat, because hopefully the suppliers will come on board, they will reply to your messages, and this is more to give you a platform to not vent, but to try and get some understanding and some guidance into what to do now that the announcement's been made. Uh, Suppliers wise as well, I've got so many suppliers that are going to be joining today, and I don't want to offend anyone. I'm not going to mention names, because people have different ways of working. For example, a caterer works per head, so it's easy to cut down costs when you're working on a per head basis. Whereas there are some suppliers, it doesn't matter whether it's a 15, 30 people wedding, but we're still going to be there from start to finish. So this is not to do with right or wrong, it's to give you some clarity of what other suppliers are doing. And if you need any guidance after this live, then please feel free to reach out, contact me. I'll leave my number at the end of the live. But also check out some of our Insta posts, because I will post this on Instagram as well. So again, Nimisha, hello, Krishna. Wow, so many people have joined. So thank you guys so much. I've also got Ram Pandey, who I work with very closely in terms of Maharaj from the Hare Krishna temple. So if you have any questions relating to the priests that you've booked, and they are booked for your other event, but that you can't get them now, please reach out so you know what priests are doing. We've got our business partners, Hinesh and Reena, um, who we've joined forces during this COVID pandemic with Red Pearl Creations. So we also do decor and mandap now as well. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. So if you have any inquiries regarding decor, mandaps, stripping back, then please put it on the chat, and I'm sure Hinesh or Reena will actually go through what they've been doing and how they've been helping their clients as well. Um, so, as I said, this platform's for you guys. You need to ask the questions. We can go through it. But what I want to explore more is, like I sent a message to everyone earlier today, the great news that we've been all waiting for is, can weddings go ahead? And I'm sure, as many of the couples that are online today, we are thrilled, we're excited, we are happy that now we can finally start some kind of married life together, or whatever events are taking place. However, on the flip side of it, the number of calls that we have received, well, that I've received, and I'm sure all the suppliers are in the same boat, over the last 48 hours has been crazy. Because on the flip side of it, all the couples are now either anxious, not because of numbers, but they're anxious and they're stressed because majority of them didn't use the lockdown time to actually plan what they want to do, and now weddings being allowed to go ahead, they don't know where to start. So um, I'm going to go through that whole process as well as what you can start doing, what you should start doing. There's no such thing as too late, so please don't think it's too late to do things. But you need to act now, because whether your wedding is going to be 2021 or 2022, everyone's going to get booked up. And the only people that's going to be left disappointed is you guys as a couple. Us as suppliers are going to try and accommodate as much as we can. However, there's only so many weddings we can take on a day. Not many people are fortunate that they have a team. So when it's only a solo person, they can only be in one place at one time. So what's been happening is a lot of couples, I'm going to talk about it from our experience because that's all I can talk about it from. But our couples have, some of them who are going to get married in April, have decided to move their wedding into May. And they have genuine reasons for it. One main reason is they don't have time to do wedding shopping because nothing's open. So they don't want to stress themselves out on the last minute basis. So they've moved it into May, giving them that ample time to start planning ahead as and when we sort of come out of lockdown, whether it's the 8th, whether it's the 15th or 17th or wherever it is in April. So I just want to know from you guys, what have you been doing during lockdown? Have you been planning your wedding so as and when things open up, you can go straight in? Are you stuck in a rut where you actually don't know where to start? Because a lot of my couples have lost that excitement and now they just want to get married. And that's all well and good, but you need to try and get that excitement back, because otherwise you're not going to enjoy the actual wedding day. Now, whether it's 15 people, 30 people, hundreds of people, um, the whole process of a wedding is a wedding, right? It's where two families come together, unite as one, get married, be happy. But I realized that a lot of the time now, because people haven't actually planned ahead, they're now struggling with suppliers, with the family members, with the in-laws, and so on. So because they haven't had that communication on board. So what I would suggest now, and again, this is just my point of view, everyone is different, is start contacting your suppliers if you haven't done so already. And I'm even talking about weddings that you're going to do in 2022, because 2022 is going to be a new 2020, not COVID, but in terms of where people thought the big year of getting married was 2020, 2022 is going to be like that, because everyone who's not certain about this year, everyone's pushing their wedding to 2022. Keeping in mind, please remember, guys, we are still getting new inquiries. And because we're getting new inquiries, we do want to accommodate you because you've already signed contracts with us, people that were going to get married in 2020. But we can't hold the dates for so long because we've, as a supplier in the events industry, have had no income for the last year. We might have had events here and there, but unfortunately, there's so many businesses that have closed down that now that we're allowed to do weddings, we're going to go full force in to try and get as many bookings as we can, but still having that mindset that we're going to accommodate our couples that have already signed up with us. Now, that's only possible if you start acting now and start reaching out to your suppliers and getting dates booked in. Please don't wait thinking my wedding's in September and I'll wait till July because we don't know if we're allowed X amount of numbers. Because just remember that the way I see it, lockdown has eased up. Yes, we're allowed 15 from April the 12th. Yes, we're allowed 30 in May. Yes, we're allowed unlimited numbers from June. However, this is all data based, and I don't want to have this live to put a downer on anything, but if you decide to change your wedding from April, let's say, and move it to July, just on the perception that you'll be able to have your wedding with 500 guests. Yes, we hope that happens, but if it doesn't and it goes back to 15, you're going to be back at square one when you could have actually got married in April. So if you're happy with moving it to July, but have actually understood that that might not happen with the numbers that we want, and we're not going to stress about it, and we're just going to get married whether it's July or April, then please do it. There is no right or wrong in whatever date you want. What I don't want people to do is people who are still thinking, shall I get married on my original date in May? Or shall I get married in September? Or shall I get married in 2022? Because you're actually creating confusion yourself when we actually don't know what's happening with the numbers. Keeping in mind, this is all data based, right? So if numbers do increase for whatever reason, which I don't think it will, that's my personal choice. The vaccinations and everything has gone out so well that there could be some kind of normality from June, July, August, whenever that is. But when you do book your new date, please start trying to get excited for one. Reach out to your suppliers, because some of the suppliers that I know that they're not just there as suppliers, they are your guidance, right? They're your support team. And when you think of them as your support team, I guarantee you the outcome will be so much more nicer if you keep thinking about suppliers. The other thing I've realized is try to call them. Calling them and speaking to them is very different to when you email them, because emails can be perceived in such a different way. And sometimes we don't mean to send an email with that intention, but you've actually thought about it like, oh my God, this supplier is rude. Actually, we're not rude. We're just been so busy over the last 2 days because we're trying to accommodate so many people, because we don't want people to lose out on the deposits. That's full stop. However, it has to be a two-way relationship in terms of you need to start acting and we need to start supporting and actually getting back to you when we say we do. So going on that, I've had a lot of questions. As soon as I put up my live, that I'm going to be doing a live, I had a lot of questions beforehand. And some of the questions were, if we move our date, actually, no, if we cancel our date because of numbers, will we get a refund? So I'm going to come on to all of that. I just want to acknowledge some of the suppliers that are on board, because I want you to reach out to them. It doesn't have to be on this live, guys. It can be actually just direct to them. You can put something on here, refer it to a photographer, and I'm sure they will help out in terms of what they're doing in terms of their procedures, okay? So I just want to say, Amit, hello mate. Amit is from Divine Music, a DJ, does ceremonies, but receptions, production, the whole works. Dino Jerome, hi mate. He's a photographer. So if you want to speak to a photographer, then please reach out to Dino. So we got Krishna Ben, hello, hi. So Sanj Eve is saying, hi Sagar. We are planning to have the Indian wedding on 14th of May. I am assuming this needs to be in an indoor or outdoor public space. Do you know of venues which would be fine hosting an Indian wedding for a total of 15 people? London and surrounding areas. What else have we got? And thank you. Yeah, we'll come on to that. You might not be able to have your initial venue because a lot of people are saying it's too big. Which is understandable. If you're gonna, and again, reach out now, guys, because if there is any chance of you getting a refund, it will be now. If there is, that is, because government guidelines, okay, state that if you cancel your wedding, let's say in May, because you don't want to get married because you're only allowed 15 or 30 people, then we as suppliers do not have to refund you your deposit. Because you're the one cancelling the wedding on terms of numbers. The government haven't said that weddings are not allowed to go ahead. Now, a lot of the couples think that's very harsh. I understand that. However, when on the flip side of that, when we were told that every supplier has to give money back and refund back when lockdown was actually present, then of course everyone did reach out and everyone said we want a refund because we don't know what they're doing. We were obliged to give a refund as and when the business started operating at 50%. Because keeping in mind, guys, we haven't had any income, but some of my suppliers who are on board, they've had other outgoings, an expenditure, whether it's units and whether it's staffing and so on. So we have promised that we will give a refund. We just haven't put a date to it because we don't know, or we didn't know when weddings would start up. So on the other side of that, just remember that now that weddings are allowed to go ahead, if you do not want to go ahead because it's for the reason of numbers, then I don't really want you to lose out on your deposit, but we can't give your deposit back. Otherwise, we'll be giving deposits back to everyone. I'm in a fortunate place where we can accommodate up to 3 weddings. However, if I can't accommodate more than 3 weddings and you want that date, then we can work something out. I'm trying to be as flexible as possible. However, majority of us are giving out credit notes. You're always going to have an anniversary party or a birthday party or a baby shower or whatever it is. We're always happy to put that deposit into your next event, whether it's in, well, for us, um, we're trying to help our customers where we can, our clients. So we've said that you can move your date until the end of 2022 without any extra charge, even though we're putting the charges up next year. We're not going to charge you extra because you moved your date. Because I would rather you move your date and not lose your deposit than actually losing everything. And I'm sorry if all the suppliers, some of them may not agree, some of the clients may not agree. This is just what we are doing. So I'm just giving you some guidance. And to all the suppliers out there, if you can hear me, please, if you can, if you don't want to, you can reply to someone individually, but please mention what your policy is in terms of what you are doing with your couples, because it might give some clarity to the couples that have joined today in terms of how they should approach their photographer, how they should approach their DJ. I know for a fact, and Amit, if you're still online, maybe you might be able to help with this. I know that a lot of people are going with their wedding ceremonies and going ahead with it, whether it's 15, 30, but they can't vision or visualize a wedding reception with 15 or 30, even though wedding receptions are allowed to go ahead now. So they are either stripping back or they're postponing it to another date. I know photographers, they would prefer to do the wedding and reception in one day. So it would be nice to know what you guys are doing in terms of, are you just helping them push their new dates? Are you charging them extra? And again, guys, there's nothing, please, I don't want to offend anyone. This is not about right and wrong. This is just saying it how it is and what people are doing. So it will be a lovely thing for you to take this on board. So when you do contact your suppliers, at least you know what questions to ask, where to go beyond from here. So have some clarity before you actually reach out to your suppliers. So of course, the in summary, in terms of the number side of things, if you want more numbers and you want the grand wedding, then have the grand wedding. There's nothing wrong with it. Then move it to 2022, move it to the end of 2021, whatever you feel like supports you. But then if you move it to 2022 and then all of a sudden in June this year, Boris Johnson says we can have weddings for 500 people, don't look back on it and don't be disappointed that you should have just held up for a bit because you could have got married this year instead of moved it. Now focus on the new date, because then you're going to start getting excited. Otherwise, you're always going to be in this constantly watching announcements. Okay, shall I not? Shall I not? And that will never work, because then you're not going to actually enjoy your wedding day, because the amount of stress that you're going to build up yourself before the wedding day even approaches, by the time it's your wedding day, you just want to do, I just want to get over with it now. And that's not the right mindset to go into a wedding, because it does affect everyone, right? So again, yeah, like Dino said, each on their own merits, right? Just we can only be here to guide you, but you have to understand what you want. And as long as you know and you have a vision of what you want, honestly, it will work. Whichever way, weddings are allowed. We should be happy that weddings are allowed now. I don't think it will ever go back into lockdown. I think if numbers do increase, then the numbers will go back down to 15. But please don't just take that advice because I'm not government and I don't know what the numbers are. But just go with the approach that suppliers are there to help you guys. So the other question is contracts. A lot of your contracts that you signed back in 2020, of course, are all void. If you haven't had a new contract, I don't know how suppliers are working in terms of sending out new contracts, but if you haven't had a new contract, then I would recommend and suggest that you reach out to your suppliers that you want a new contract. Just because you've got something to fall back on, it doesn't mean you get a refund. It just means it's a peace of mind that your date is booked. Especially because now, with the number of events that we have received or date movements that we've received in the last 48 hours, dates are everywhere. And it just gives you a peace of mind that the supplier has heard you out. And not just that, you've got that date booked, right? So you can now start working towards that date instead of chasing your suppliers thinking, I still haven't got him booked. I know he said he's booked. I know we like him, but I want that proof that we have been booked for that day. It just gives you that peace of mind, and it gives us a peace of mind that you're not just going to keep provisionals in, then we're going to lose out on new bookings, which we don't want to because we're getting so many new inquiries. And it means that at least you've sealed that date and you've secured that date. In terms of deposits, just as we're talking about contracts, normally, like myself, I take 50% deposit and then 50% towards the wedding day. But because I have to understand a lot of people are being made redundant, furlough. Some people don't have jobs like they used to. So as long as we can talk about it, and this is what I mean, communication. Don't email. If we can talk about it, I'm sure we can come to some kind of agreement where we're happy and you are happy. You might not have to pay 50%. You may pay just £150 just to secure that date. And it gives you something to work on that we set, and we'll pay the rest when the wedding actually, well, a month before the wedding date or so on. What I've done as well, and I don't know if other suppliers have done this, but I've also drafted a whole COVID policy as an additional document. And that just gives you that peace of mind of what we are doing, as in Saga Rias Weddings and Events, what we are doing to give you that peace of mind that if lockdown does happen again, then your money is safe. You are not going to lose out. Yes, admin charges and so on, but to a proportion of what the payment you've made, an admin charge is really very minute. But at least you've got that peace of mind of, okay, if you do decide to cancel because it's locked down again, then you don't have to worry about losing your money, because in that COVID policy, it states that we will push your date to another wedding day, will accommodate another event, wherever that event is. So just try and ask your suppliers, and suppliers may hate me for this. Sorry, guys, if you do, because I know it's just extra work. But as I said, I put a COVID policy together just to give that peace of mind that, guys, I know we're playing with your money, but we're not playing with your money. It's just we're asking for deposits because we haven't had an income for a year. We have to keep our business going. Otherwise, when you get married in 2022 and you haven't given us a deposit, we may not be able to make 2022 because our business has gone bust. And then you're going to be back into square one because we're not going to be able to give you anything back. You've now lost a supplier that you wanted, and all we were asking for was £150, £200, whatever it is, just to secure that date. So businesses are going down, and we're trying to do everything we can to accommodate our couples, but you have to also understand that as a business, if we don't sustain our income and our premises and so on, then we will go down, and then that means there will be no wedding suppliers to go to. So yeah, please, guys, let me know. I know I can see a lot of suppliers on board, so thank you again. I just want to just read out some messages because, of course, this will go on YouTube. So Dino has just said, just to clarify, Sagar, any wedding voluntary cancellation doesn't warrant a deposit refund. In addition, this is CMA guidelines and is not set in law. The only legal documents in the contract, the suppliers. I'll contact the suppliers, I'm guessing. Okay. Charmi, oh, that's understandable. Okay. Nisha Patel from Wedding Style has just said, try, if you're looking for a small venue, try Oshwal House. They hire the smaller hall for 30 people. That's not the main hall. And Rena, who's our business partner, directors as well in the business. Rena has said, us as in we, all of us at Red Pearl Creations, for wedding decor mandaps are also happy to move the date to another similar available date where possible if our couples want to move the date. We aren't giving refunds unless they are exchanging circumstances which align with our TNCs, and hope that helps. Oh yeah, thank you, Rena. So hopefully that will help. I'm not hearing much from our couples. So guys, please remember, this is a platform not for me to talk for an hour. It's a platform for you guys to reach out in terms of any questions that you've had, any concerns that you have. Please put it in the post. If you don't want to post it on the comment section, by all means, email me, WhatsApp me, whatever you want to do. If you've got my number, or Facebook message me, and I'll get the answers for you from our suppliers who have been on board today as well. Dwani, are you still busy on my wedding date? Yes, I am. Hi, Gemini. So Gemini's another client of ours. So Gemini, yeah, if you have any questions, I know most of your suppliers are on here today, so that's all good. If anyone doesn't want to get me wine, I prefer a good bottle of Malbec. So the next bit that I wanted to go through. So contracts, invoices, COVID guidelines, we've covered. In terms of moving dates, we have covered. The other thing I want to cover is, how can you still make your wedding with, despite the smaller numbers? Okay. Now think about it realistically. I know you're not going to have 500 people. I know that's what you dreamt your wedding to be. But not on a positive note, that's the wrong thing to say. Now that your numbers have gone down from 500 to 30 or 500 to 100, you have saved money from people such as caterers, not photographers, not DJs, because as a wedding ceremony DJ, I still have to be there as well as the Maharaj. We have to be there from the first Ganesh Puja to the Viday. That's 8 hours. Whether it's 15, 30, 45, 100, 500. We still have to be there for the 8 hours. So we try and help in terms of lowering whatever we can, or we might add value in terms of helping you with guidance and everything else, and not charge for that part. But we can't justify charging something for 15 people, because whether it's 15 or 100, we still need to bring speakers. We still need to set up. For us, it's still the same day. Same with the Maharaj. Whether it's 15, the Maharaj is not going to rush the ceremony. The ceremony still remains at 1 hour, 45 minutes. But also, we've been fortunate to do a lot of COVID weddings between August and December. And you may not believe this, but every single COVID wedding we have attended or we have done, they've all run 1 hour late. And the reason why, because the clients, the couples, the family, they thought they won't enjoy it, but they have loved it so much, because for once, every single family member who was invited to that wedding could have lunch. They could have dinner together, which is why it's been late, because they're like, why are you rushing me? There's only 15 people. We'll get it done. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Whether it's an hour late, that's cool. I'd rather do that than actually you moving your wedding to another date when you don't know whether it's going to happen or not. So you can still have all those guests, guys, right? You've saved all that money from catering because you brought the food price down from 500 to 15. So you're on per head basis. You might reach out to your decor and you say, okay, I don't want a 6-pillar manda. I only want a 4-pillar manda. That's understandable because there's only 15 people. So all that money that you're saving, I'm not saying go out and just spend it elsewhere, but try and think of how can you still make your wedding the wedding you want, whether people are watching it virtually or whether people are physically there. it makes no difference. It does to some people, but actually, how many of those 500 guests do you actually see once your wedding is finished, especially a silent wedding? Because majority of the silent weddings I've been to, there's only 20 people left for the vidai. Everyone else has eaten and gone home. Nothing wrong with that. That is what Indian weddings are about: engaging, meeting everyone, and it's so lovely, and I miss that energy. However, all the weddings, the COVID weddings that we've done, all our couples have reached out to either myself or suppliers that I work with very, very closely, and they've reached out to us to do live streaming. Now, live streaming, there are so many suppliers out there. I'm not going to name just one because I feel that's unfair, because I work with all my suppliers, and it's up to everyone else's individual budget. But live streaming can cost anything from 400 to 650 plus VAT, whatever it is. But the quality that you will get on a live stream, when we send you a private YouTube link, we can do a Zoom so that you can actually see people. You won't believe the comments that we have got from live streaming events. People and guests and family from all around the world have actually said that we actually thought we were sitting on the front row. And we saw everything. And actually, we paid more attention to the wedding, keeping in mind that people are watching from their houses, right? On their smart TV or laptop, whatever it is. They could easily move around. They can get distracted. But majority of the couples, majority of the family members have actually said we sat throughout the whole wedding because we were so close to the mandap that we felt we were actually physically there. Now, I'm hoping, and again, I'm so sorry if I'm putting additional work to my suppliers, but I'm hoping that even when it's 500 people, I hope that the live streaming still goes ahead, because we don't know if people are going to be able to travel from India, America, Kenya, Africa, wherever it is. And how lovely is it that if you have live streaming, doesn't matter where people are in the world, everyone can connect. Some people in India might not have the money to travel into UK. But how lovely is it that they can still be part of your big day, right? They are still giving you Ashirvad, okay? And in English terms, they're still giving you their blessings, whether it's virtual or not. They can still listen to the music that's being played. They can still listen to the Maharaj as if they were in the venue, because we all plug, everything is plugged into one socket. I'm not going to go into too many technical terms, but everything is plugged into one socket. And whatever you hear at a wedding day, on a wedding day, the people that have attended, that's what your live stream people can hear. Of course, technical, whatever, sometimes you have that little buffer, but actually so far we haven't had that, which is so good. It also gives you the opportunity, if you really want, to actually invite just your immediate family to the Zoom. And then once the wedding is done, we can unmute everyone one by one on Zoom. They can say, thank you for having us, congratulations. I can give you a mic, you can say a couple of words to people who have joined on Zoom and YouTube. So you are still there. Actually, you're so more connected to everyone virtually than you are in person, because you just don't have the time when you've got 500 guests to actually speak to every single person, because half of them go and eat and leave. Whereas this way, everyone's there on the day, just not physically there. Okay. So let me know, guys, what you think about the live streaming. Again, I'm not here to push anything. I don't like pushing services onto people because everyone has their own budget. I can only tell you and guide you in terms of what works. Same as half of my suppliers that are on today. None of them force anyone to book anything. We just say, look, this is what works at this venue. This is what will look good. This is what the money is. If you want to go for it, go for it. Otherwise, I'm still there as a photographer. It's up to you. So please don't feel like when suppliers are giving you alternate options, they're not fobbing you off. They're not trying to hard sell, but what they're trying to do is trying to still create a wow factor for you guys, because we understand you had to drop it from 500 to 30. That doesn't mean we start degrading our service to you guys. It means we're going to put extra, whatever we can, that extra energy to making sure that you have the best wedding despite the numbers. Okay. So I just Nisha, she just mentioned what I said. So Nisha from Wedding Style, you can still create a wow factor by using the space in a creative way. Larger spaces don't mean it will look empty. You just need to use the space wisely, and this is where decorators come in. I can't. I don't know one thing about vision when it comes to what looks good where. I'm good at managing the event, but when you tell me does this flower look good, that's not me. So use the people that you have, and even if you okay, time is money. I understand that. Now if time was money, then I wouldn't spend 40 minutes or whatever I am now, 40 minutes, if I was asking you for every single penny of my time, right? But because I know that hopefully out of 32 or 40 people watching, two of you might take it back and actually reach out to other people that are getting married in your family, that wisdom share is so much more greater and powerful than the final outcome. And that means that all the suppliers, even suppliers that you haven't booked, and some of the suppliers are on here, I'm sure, I don't know, and please, guys, if you don't want people to reach out to you, maybe don't put it on here, but message them directly. But I'm sure we are all ears, right? And if you need a tip and you want some advice, advice sometimes is good when it's free, right? Of course, limited. Because some people take that advice and just completely take everything and say, by the way, sorry, we don't need your services anymore. And that's happened to me where I've actually given them the whole playlist of the wedding. And then they said, we found a DJ now. And I'm like, wow, okay. So, of course, there's reasons why we change our policies around because we've either been scarred in the past or we just need to protect ourselves as well. Amit, yes, Nisha, you're right. Amit Anand from Divine, he's amazing when it comes to visualization and production. So definitely reach out to Amit. There's so many, you've got, I don't want to just name, I'm just naming people that are on here, but there are so many decorators and so on. Rena, again, from Red Pearl, said, I agree with Dino, incorporate partitions and decor to make the wedding feel more intimate. Sonia, thank you, no problem. Dino, we also asked the bride and groom to have a chat with some after the wedding. See, so exactly, I'm just reading this now, but we're already doing it. So sometimes, you might even forget on the wedding day. We will approach you and say, by the way, do you want to say something to your guests that have been online? And again, I really, really, I think I'm very passionate about this, but I really hope that the live streaming continues. Maybe they might lower the charge. I don't know the logistics and the technicality of it. But I hope it does because it doesn't matter where people are in the world. You can have everyone at your wedding. Can you imagine all your guests, 1,000 guests on YouTube, and they're there to bless you on your wedding day, but they're not virtually there. And that is so amazing, right? Everyone got to see your wedding. And with a private link, you can actually keep it on YouTube. So as a raw data, you've always got some memory about exactly what happened, where it happened, who sang, who didn't sing. Whereas you're not going to remember that after the wedding's finished. And you do remember it, but only for some time. So Bandit Ram Bande Avari events are excellent at streaming. They are indeed. I do a lot of work with Avari events. Well, they have a separate company called Outline AV. So that's their production side, their live streaming. So guys, if you want to get in touch with them, let me know. I'll put you in touch with them. We've also got people like JVS Productions. Jay, he's amazing. There's so many guys, and Cookies Production. I just don't want to mention names because I'm not favoring one over the other, and I don't feel like I should ever do that. Everyone works in different ways, right? Dino, seating arrangements and partitions can change. Oh yeah, speak to a decor company, create backgrounds and so on. Mitesh Mehta, what capacity venue would you recommend for a 30-person wedding to include social distancing? Mitesh, maybe go back on the chat if you've just joined us. We've had a couple of venues that we've mentioned on there. Otherwise, please do reach out to me. Just type my name in Sagar Vyas, or you'll see this post anyway. And I'll definitely help you with some of the venues in terms of what they're doing and how they're still able to create that 30 people wedding, but have the social distancing, but also making the space, the big space that they have, by reducing the space, using partition walls, because there's a lot of venues such as Hilton Scion Park, Sendish Manor. All these venues are very big, but the advantage they have over some of the other venues is they can actually partition each section off. So you can actually have 30 people where they're doing the mandap ceremony, and then actually they can then go to eat in a different room. They don't have to do everything in one. So you're utilizing your space, and you're also utilizing what you've paid for it. I don't know if venues are reducing the price for using just one section of the venue. I have no idea. So you may have to just reach out to those venues. But yeah, please, you know, as I said, Sendish Manor, you've got Hilton Scion Park. You have a couple more venues. You got Swaminarayan Mandir in Stanmore, because they've got a smaller hall that they can accommodate, I think, up to 100 people. And then they've got the big hall, which you can actually partition off, and you can use the decorators to partition it off. And then you can have dining one side and dining one side and guests and the mandap ceremony on the other. Sonia's already mentioned about live streaming. So Sonia, yeah, please get in touch. I'll definitely help you with that. I know we've mentioned a few here. Wow, guys, you know what? Look, I just want to say I didn't expect as many numbers, or actually not as many couples and guests and suppliers. So thank you guys for taking this time, because you can be doing so much. Well, you could be watching a Netflix, but I'm glad you've joined, and I'm just hoping you find some kind of information out of this to take it, so that you don't, where you were stressing, it might have just lightened that stress out a little bit, and you can start working. I want to say one thing actually while I say that. Lockdown, the reason why I'm pushing you guys as a couple or couples to start doing things in lockdown is because this is the time when, I'm not saying we don't do anything. Everyone has their full-time job. Some of them don't have a full-time job, but we are busy with emails now. Using the lockdown time is the best time to get your meetings in, because as soon as the 8th of March kicks in and we're allowed to see only one person outside, we are going to take every opportunity to do that. Not just suppliers, but you as couples, right? As soon as 12th of April kicks in, or 29th of March, where we're allowed to meet in 6 or 2 households, you are going to see you're going to go and see your loved ones. You're not going to think about, oh my God, I have to plan my wedding, because you haven't seen so many people for so long. So then wedding gets at the back of your mind. And then what happens when it comes closer to your wedding, you'll be thinking, oh my God, I should have contacted this person. I should have. By that time now, it might be too late, because the suppliers that you could have contacted are now booked. And that's why I'm not rushing you to put money down. I'm not rushing you to get contracts signed. I'm saying it because I don't want you to lose out on suppliers that you actually visualized on having on your wedding day. There are plenty of suppliers. There's plenty of work for all of us. You'll always get someone. You'll always get a marriage. But you might just not get the marriage that you wanted if you wanted a silent wedding. Okay? That's the only reason I'm rushing you. Use these 2 weeks or a week and a bit, whatever it is now, to not bombard your suppliers. Sorry, guys, if I said bombard your supplier, but you know what I mean. Get in touch with your suppliers. Book in these meetings. Book in the dates. This is the time, because once lockdown eases, you may think I'm just going to still focus on weddings. You're not. I know you're not, because you haven't seen your family. You haven't seen your loved ones. You're going to take every opportunity to go out when lockdown eases, because you're allowed to go out and you're not breaking government guidelines. Okay. What are your thoughts on mask wearing for weddings after June, Jamie? Actually, I don't mind wearing a mask. I actually, I've got used to it. So I actually don't mind. Couples, what's more important? If we had a 500 people wedding, but 500 people had to wear a mask, does it really matter? Because you still had the 500 that managed to come to the wedding. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but the way I want to come across is, this is the time where you need to get all the couples, get the priorities right. And that doesn't mean getting my priorities right. I'm saying get your priorities right, because your priority might that I don't want people to wear a mask, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys, right? If that's what you want, then do it. Then actually move your wedding to 2022, because it may be, but we don't know. 2022, they might say you still have to wear a mask. Then you could have got married in June this year, but you pushed it to 2022 with the hope that we're not going to be able to wear a mask. We won't have to wear a mask. And then you have to wear a mask. So again, the only people that's going to be disappointed is you guys as couples, not suppliers, because we will accommodate you where we can. If we have to wear a mask as suppliers, we're going to wear a mask. But you need to think what's important. And that's where I'm coming with the live streaming stuff as well. What's more important, fresh flowers or live streaming? Actually, I would rather myself, I would put money into live streaming, even if it was £100 extra than fresh flowers, because I now managed to get thousands of people watching my wedding. Whereas the fresh flowers, people who are virtual, yeah, they can see it, but we're not going to focus on the flowers for the entire duration. We're going to focus on the couple. And also when you walk, again, sorry to all the decorators, I don't want to push business out from you guys, but same with when I say to everyone has a choice, but don't go on the choice of what you have seen before, because when you're comparing it to what you've seen before, you're replicating a wedding that's already happened. That's not your wedding. And that comes in terms when you're choosing your music, when you're choosing your supplier, when you're choosing your mandap. When I ask my couples, what do you want out of a wedding? They go, we know what we want. I'm like, perfect. And then they will say, we want this, 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 this. I'm like, oh, wow, you thought about it. Oh, yeah, we thought about it because we attended a wedding. But that's their wedding. This is the perfect time now for you to focus and make your wedding even more creative than you ever thought it would be. Because people now can't complain, oh, my money na bolaya. Or sorry, in English, you didn't call me. Well, I couldn't. I had 15 people. But you can still create a lovely 15 people wedding and still have those people you didn't call watching it. But my priority, as I said, would be live streaming over a grand mandap, for instance, because I find more value that everyone else is watching my wedding that weren't able to make it, especially during COVID time, than actually putting fresh flowers on and then just going in the bin. All right. Sorry guys, and I said please, I keep repeating this. I don't want to come out arrogant. I don't want to push business away from suppliers because I know fresh flowers is a good thing. I'm just saying from my personal opinion, everyone's opinion is different. You may not agree with anything I say today, and that's okay. Don't feel bad that, oh my God, I joined his live, but I don't agree. Don't feel bad because you have an opinion. I'm just telling you from what people have been doing in terms of suppliers that I've been working with and in terms of my couples that I've been working. That's all I can judge it on. I can't judge it on what everyone else wants to do and so on. So Tina Mystery, hello. Wow, we've got so many messages. Guys, suppliers, I'm hoping you're replying to some of these messages. I will definitely reply once I get off this live and it's on YouTube. If you want this on YouTube and want a link, then please message me and I'll send you a link that you can send to people that are not on Facebook, on Instagram and so on, because they might get some clarity out of this. So I'll send you the YouTube link. A lot of my couples on here, I know I haven't sent you the contracts, the new contracts. I keep bombarding everyone that you should be doing this, 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 and I haven't done it myself. But I'm so sorry. It's just last 2 days have been crazy. I will send you out the contracts to secure your new date. Priya, we have a venue that is too big for 15 people and we cannot cancel without paying extra charges. What can we do to make it feel more lively and not empty? Okay. Priya, we'll have a discussion about that outside of this anyway, but definitely reach out to your supplier, your decor people, because they will have that vision in terms of how you can make a small space or a big space look smaller but still intimate, and so it doesn't feel like it's just very vast, right? Bhavisha, love the idea of live streaming Zoom so you can interact with guests who aren't there. Sonia, yep, we said about the live streaming. Who else is here? My God, so many guys. Thank you so much for joining. I know Dino joins majority of my lives and he's been amazing at replying to people as well. So thank you so much, Dino, for the support, especially when I'm on live and supporting you on this. Dickstar, live streaming with interactive with guests is a brilliant idea. Sorry, guys, I know I'm mentioning these chats. It's only because otherwise people on YouTube won't be able to see these chats. So if there's any support, then at least if I mention it, people know who to reach out to. Dino, to be honest, streaming has been going on for ages. It has, correct. All we have done is simply highlighted it more. Originally, it was Skype. Now it's Zoom. We are simply talking about it now as we have got used to Zoom, correct. We've got no other option, right? If we want people there, we're going to have to, or we want meetings. Everything has always been here, but we've never really reached out. After, thank you so much for joining. After's from LED Factory. Definitely worth checking After out when it comes to, how can I put it, making your wedding look lively and ravey. Not just to do with laves, but LED Factory After does anything you say, he will make sure it's done. And we have uplighting. I know they have these straws that light up. Oh God, there's so much that he does. And after, it would be nice if you can just put a couple of things, couple of services that you do, just to allow our viewers to acknowledge what you do, and hopefully they'll reach out, guys. But if you want to make your wedding different and stand out, definitely spend a little bit of extra money that you've saved. Remember, you're not spending more money. You're spending the money that you were initially going to spend anyway, and you would have never complained about it because you would have had that 500 people wedding. But now that you're saving money, try and use that money to create that wow factor by putting some here, putting some there, live streaming, LED wall, LED this, LED, whatever it is. Because even with you spending that extra money that you've saved, you're still going to be saving money because it's not going to cost you the money of a venue that's giving you a refund. Okay. So yeah, please do. We need to speak ASAP. Yeah, we'll definitely will. Outline AV, Bhavishri, Vasani, hi. Hey Sagar, any advice on sending out invites? Good question. Digital is the best way at the moment. I'm sure you can find a digital platform. I've got 3 or 4 suppliers. I'm sure all the other suppliers have as well. Bhavishri, please reach out. I will send you the contacts. You contact them directly. It's nice not to be sometimes the middle person because miscommunication and so on. So I'll just give you the details. Message me, I'll give you the details, contact them directly, maybe mention my name if you want. And digital's, I think, the way forward at the moment, because if you're going to print out 500 Gankotris or invites when your wedding's in September, but if it only allows 15 people, and again, I'm not putting a downer on this, I'm just being real in terms of we don't know what's happening, then you're going to be very disappointed that 35 of those invites have had to go into the bin. They're going to the bin anyway, right? But you were sending out invites and you paid for them when those guests couldn't come. Whereas digital ones are good. You can actually be very creative with digital ones. I don't know if Jamin is still here, but Jamin, who is going to be getting married in May or June, I don't know what she's doing with the dates at the moment, but she sent me her invite last year when COVID was, I think, yeah, when COVID was here actually. And her invite just blew me away. And the reason I can't tell you, I'm not going to mention what they did because that's their idea, but their invite was, it was just, I was mind blown. And I was like, why do people not do this instead of spending it on paper and putting it on paper? And that goes, honestly, when we leave the venue, I feel for the cleaners because they have to clean up 500 Gankotris. Everyone chucks it on the floor, right? No one takes it home. So how lovely is it that when you have a digital one, it's not about just having a digital invite, but you've got a memory, right? You've got something digital to say, wow, okay, you know what? We sent this out, and it feels a bit more, you're a bit more interactional. Like, is that the right word? Yeah. You're interacting with your guests a little bit more instead of just posting it. Because when you send it to them via WhatsApp, email, majority of the couples will actually reply back saying, thank you so much. That looks wonderful. And what happens then? You start a conversation. So you're now connecting with family members that you never knew either existed or family members that you haven't seen for such a long time. And how lovely is that as well as your wedding planning, you are now bringing back family members that you haven't spoken to a long time ago, right? So yeah, Bhavishri, please message me. Do you know it's simply too noisy if it's not managed? Yep. Oh yeah, too. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Email. Diksha, Sagar, any thoughts on home events allowed, do you think? Oh, good question. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. Do you know? I know you follow a lot of uh, sorry, wedding and event groups on Facebook and LinkedIn and so on. Have you heard anything, or Amit, who's online as well? Amit, have you heard anything in terms of are home events going to be allowed to happen, or will it be restricted to six? I haven't heard anything, guys, so I'm so sorry I can't answer that question. Dixa, I'll definitely find out for you in whatever means by reaching out to different suppliers. Let me find out and I'll get back to you on that one. But sorry I couldn't answer that today. But I'm sure if any of the suppliers can answer that, it'll be so lovely if you can answer Dixa in terms of what knowledge you guys know. Sarika Das, sorry to jump in, will PM you, but I need a mandap and decor company. Are you free on 24th of July? And I can see Rena has just replied. So yeah, guys, please reach out. I will leave all my details at the end of it, or you can just reach out to me on Facebook. You've already connected, so you've got my Facebook invite, or whichever way we call it. Suraj, true words, well done. Oh, cheers, bro. Bunit, hi, I'm a sound engineer. Feel free to message me to have a chat about your requirements. Thanks, Bunit. Thank you so much. Prina has replied to Dixa. Home events will be allowed gradually as each restriction is lifted. Dino has just sent a link to the government website, and I'm guessing that is to do with our home allowance, our home events allowed. Bhavisha, we've been chatting to our suppliers on the phone again since December and throughout lockdown, alongside emails. Best advice you've given us, Sagar. Oh, thank you. We know where we stand, and it's helped us plan ahead and work around the lockdown easing. Also, given us a better idea of what we can do rather than what we can't. Yeah, look, guys, as I said, the reason I'm doing this is not to talk for an hour. Actually, it's been an hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. The reason for this is for all of us together, right? All of us are getting married. All of us have work to do. All of us need to find work. And if we can bounce off ideas and get information from everyone, how lovely is it that we can still create your own wedding? And all I'm doing is talking, but actually my suppliers are doing more of the talking, and you as couples are doing more of the talking, just not physically, just virtually on chat. But yeah, honestly, I can't. It's very hard for me to express what virtual has done. I've been doing a lot of events on virtual Zoom since March 2020, and I feel like I've created another family, which I can't wait to go out and meet, because I don't know these people that join us on Zoom. I've never met them in my life. They are all from all over the world. And it's so nice that when lockdown eases, I can't wait to go and see them, because we've created such a banter and they support me, I support them. It works as a two-way thing. So thank you, Bhavisha, for your lovely comment. Sonia, thanks, Sagar, and everyone. This has been very helpful. Thank you so much. Rena, completely agree. It's so refreshing working with brides who have a concept but are open to new ideas. Something unique. You really don't have to follow the norm in terms of decor. Yeah, be excited, guys. I know it's not the. I'm not. Let me rephrase this because I don't want to offend anyone. Um, when you're the first person getting married in the family, your parents have also visualized this big event. Now, I'm not saying parents are from the older generation, but that they're doing what they know, and that's because that's what they've been taught, right? And because in that generation, no one said anything different, or no one tried to break the stigma, that's all they can pass on to their kids. And so when I say to people, what do you want? They're like, this is what we want, but this is what my parents want. And I'm not saying go against your parents' advice, because that's not what I'm here to do. but it is your wedding. And now, whichever way you get married, yeah, you may have that disagreement for 1 day, 2 days, whatever. But everyone does come together at the end, because parents only want to see you happy. And that's why they're thinking of, I want X amount of people, because they want you to have that big, lavish wedding. They want to spend the money that they've saved up to for their daughter's wedding, for their son's wedding. Unfortunately, now, yeah, we have to go and follow whatever guidelines there are, follow whatever happens now, right? Um, people that are, and I'm not going to go too much into this, but people that are very spiritual, unfortunately, they haven't been able to go to the temple because it's lockdown, or when it was lockdown. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to stop spirituality. They're still going to be spiritual, but in their own comfort zone. And so we have to adapt, and things will get back to normal, guys. But at the moment, is what you've been told, is your normal the old normal, or do you actually want to get married and start a married life together? That's the question you need to ask. That's it. You don't need to ask anything else. You as a couple have to ask that question to yourself. Can we wait another year to wait until the restrictions properly end? And they may not. Or shall we just get married because we've got a property that's sitting alone that we can't even rent out because it's COVID, we can't go out. But we bought this property with the intention we'll be married now. So do I just want to get married with 15 people, or do I want to wait so that I can actually entertain 500 people? But remember, you can still entertain 500 people, just not physically there, virtual. Okay? So only you guys know. I can't answer that. Suppliers can't answer that. Once you know what you want, then only then can we guide you to say, do this, make this work. Let's make both families happy. So why don't you think about this for your parents? Let's do this. But we can't tell you that if you're still stuck. What shall I do? 500, 15. What's more important, getting married or entertaining someone? And again, I don't mean that in an arrogant way. But why do we do these big, lavish weddings sometimes? I've heard it from couples, and I've heard it from parents. We want to make everyone happy. I'm like, but what about your daughter and son-in-law, or son-in-law and daughter? Yeah. They're still getting married. But then, okay, cool, it's still a wedding, but you're not doing it for what your immediate family want. You're doing it for everyone else. And what do everyone else do? They come with the expectation, okay, it's going to be a silent wedding ceremony. I'm going to get bored. Maharaj is going to tell us to be quiet. Oh my God, they've got a weekday wedding. I have to take a day off. Don't they know I work? That's my income loss for one day. Am I going to find parking? Can't believe she's getting married in Birmingham. I know she only found one venue, but she's getting married in Birmingham. That's our petrol cost. They haven't even got to the wedding yet. And they've got all these expectations, all these thoughts in their mind. Actually, do they really want to be at your wedding? Right? And so that's what I'm saying. Because you've thought about everyone else, do they really care? I'm not saying they don't. Please don't please don't sort of misunderstand me. I'm saying it because I see it. I see it when I do weddings. I see people telling me, Sagar, I think you made a mistake when you've called out that photo list. And I'm like, why? They go, you called us out with that family. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what it says in the photo list. I didn't write the photo list. And they said, but we don't talk to that family. Well, that's not my problem. I'm here to serve the bride and groom only. If that's what they want, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to call you out separately. So either you go out now or you don't go at all. And this is what I mean by people have their own expectation, their own intention of why they're going to a wedding. You live in Birmingham, I live in London, weddings in Northampton, let's meet halfway and do Jamwan, let's eat together. So I don't have to come to your house all the way in Birmingham. Okay? So I'm only saying it, guys. Everything I'm saying today is not preaching. I'm saying it because I see it, and I don't want you guys to go through the same thing just because of numbers. That's all I'm saying. If you want a big lavish wedding, do it. Nothing wrong. I can't wait. I want to get back on receptions. I want to see my suppliers. That's what I miss the most, my suppliers, because I haven't seen them for so long, right? We're another family, suppliers are. Okay, so I'm not going to go, I've taken up so much of your time, guys. I'm very sorry. It's 10 minutes over what I wanted to do. But I'm hoping you still, if you've got questions, keep it coming. There is no time limit. I just didn't want to bore anyone. Rena has said what she had to say. Prina, everyone wants to work together to make your big day special. Sarika, LED Factory, fancy posting your website. Perfect. Upesh, hey Saga, live streaming and virtual audiences is what we together have done really well. It's a nice silver lining in these times. It definitely is. What I can't get the picture on for some reason because I did try, but I will, if you WhatsApp me or send me a link on, or connect with me on Facebook or whichever way you feel comfortable. We did an event where we had, and this was so lovely, right? So we had only 15 people, maybe less than that, at the wedding. It was at Sendish Manor, and we had the live streaming. That was one aspect of it, and then we had two massive LED walls on either side, okay, of the doorway. Upesh, just remind me what size it was. I don't know if it matters. Now, what we did is all of those guests were on Zoom. So when you're looking from the mandap, you're seeing these screens. You are seeing all 500 people, whatever they were, watching your wedding ceremony. When we did group photos, which is not allowed, but when we did group photos, how do we do a group photo? We got the bride and groom. They literally stood in the middle. You had the two screens, and everyone smiled. So it was one massive group photo with everyone virtual and the two couples. That's it, the one couple. And it's such a lovely memory because they were still there. We still unmuted people. People could still say hello, hi, congratulations. The couple could talk to them, but they just weren't physically there sitting in front of you. But they had the front row seat because the focus was on the bride and groom and the ceremony, not on all the other guests and who's doing catering and who's giving water out. Nothing. All focused on the mandap. How lovely is that? So if you guys want to see a photo, because it's very hard to visualize when I talk about it, reach out to me, Facebook me, WhatsApp me if you got my number, whatever you want to do. I will send whatever I can just to help you out, okay? Jamie, yes, I on. Dino, where is my invite? Working on a new date. Okay, so yeah, I've got a lot of my couples on board, so thank you so much. Dino, of course, in reply to your question, Sagar, I have been shouting to my screen, but any questions related to restrictions, please refer to. So Dino has also posted the government guideline link, so please do have a look. Bhavisha, any recommendation for easy to use digital invite apps? Like I mentioned earlier, I'll reach out to the individuals who are interested in invites. I'll give you some supply details. Reach out to them, please. They will definitely help without breaking the bank as well. Darun Chavla, plus 15 people. Wedding is the actual wedding, civil registry, religious ceremony, not a Mendi party at home. So technically, it's not allowed. Yeah, I think it has. At the moment, I think it has to be a COVID following venue or something like that. But I'm sure if people are allowed to meet at home with 6, I'm sure that will get increased as and when time goes on. So you may, if you were going to do a Mendi party at home, then you may want to find a smaller venue with the money that you've saved. Remember, you're not putting extra money in, guys. You are using the money that you were actually going to use and you would have never thought about it. So now use that money and put it where you think you can still interact with everyone. Before I do go off and just mention the rest of the chat, I just want to give you, so I had one couple who's getting married this year in May. What they've done is they have got their wedding date, and that is for immediate family only, of course. There's only 30 people. It's at the end of May. But they are using Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday's the wedding, right? So they're using Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to do events at home with only 6 people, unless that increases, with only 6 people. But they're going to do 5 days leading up to their wedding. And they're going to have a different theme every day. So they're going to have one day just friends only, second day just old family, third day cousins, and if that overlaps to another day, cousins. And they're doing it throughout the day where they can. So it will be a slot time. So it'll be between 12 and 6. If you're not working, please come round. We'll have a party. And then we'll clean up. And then from 7 till 12, please come down and we'll have a party. So they're still finding ways, and we are trying to help them to not break their bank, but again, they're not spending extra money. They're only spending the money that they've saved, and they are still saving money even though they're holding an event every single day leading up to the event. But how lovely is that? Everyone is now excited. Okay. Yes, it's 5 days worth of hard work. It's 5 days worth of cleaning. But again, what's more important? Getting the wedding you want, or actually thinking about, oh my God, I have to clean for 5 days. And there are cleaners out there, right? But I'm just saying. So just again, it all comes back to you guys. Everything comes back to you. What do you want to do? Reach out to us once you know what you want to do, and we can help you as a collective. All your suppliers, we will all talk. You think we don't talk, but we do. Trust me. We all talk, and we can go through how we can sit together. We can go on Zoom together, and we can try and eliminate what you shouldn't do, or what can't be done, and then we can try and put in the positives and think, why don't you do this? Let's draw a vision board together on Zoom. Let me show you a photo on Zoom. And then when we meet, how lovely is it that you're going to have the wedding that you want, even though it was 15 or 30 people. Okay. Sonia, I know a few people who have used the app, couple app. Oh, okay. I've never heard of it, so thank you so much. See, we all learn when you do these lives. I haven't used the app myself, but it's an option. Thank you. Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, thank you. My, so many messages. Darun, of course, in time, COVID will be gone. This will be history. I was talking about the next 2 stages of lockdown. Thank you, Darun. Cheers, buddy. No, honestly, there's not, as I said, there's no right or wrong. I don't want to offend anyone. It's not about offending anyone. Just put out anything you think will help all my couples. Not myself, but I'm learning now because I've got this app now that I never thought about. So thank you guys for sharing that. Dixa, important to get married and make the best of the day, and the day will still be beautiful. Correct. Nisha from Wedding Style, Jai Shri Krishna, she was saying it to Pandit Ram. Sukpal, everything you have said is so true. Sukpal, thanks, buddy. Sukpal is from Supreme Sounds UK Limited. So yeah, reach out, right? I'll tell you one thing, you're gonna have to reach out to these suppliers, guys, by the way, because not every supplier is gonna be, well, I'm hoping they will be, but not, go with the intention that not every supplier will be available on the same day, right? So you have to decide what's important for you. If you want the Maharaj and you want the DJ and you want the decor company, but you might be able to get away with not having a wedding car, for instance, or choosing another supplier for a wedding car, then don't base your new date just because that wedding car person is not available, or that photographer is not available, or because we will all have work, we will get work, but if the majority is available and you do all these dates, and I can't remember the app, I know me and Upesh were talking about it earlier, but you know, when you do these date stuff, go with the majority, because if you keep bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and give people a deadline, because it's not fair on you as couples to keep waiting, especially when venues are going to be on your back saying, we've got another inquiry, we need a booking now. So be on their backs, give them a 24-hour deadline. Just bear with us, guys, because we are so busy, especially over the last 2 days, with inquiries coming in, whether it's new or old. But give them a deadline and go with the majority, guys. And then reach out to those suppliers and say, look, I'm so sorry I couldn't go with you because you weren't available. However, can you help me, or can someone help me find another supplier for my wedding? And I guarantee we all work together, man. This is the time where we should be working together instead of competition, because there's going to be enough work for all of us. There are going to be other DJs, for instance, myself, there are going to be other DJs that are not available on the wedding date that they booked initially, that I've had 2 new inquiries today because their original DJ is not available now. So I got 2 new bookings out of it, right? But I know who that DJ is, so I actually reached out to say, thanks, bro, for mentioning my name. You know, so we have to work together, and only then will we come out of this together as one, right? Instead of, I am Sagar Vyas, or I am Upesh, or whatever it is, right? The main priority on the day is just to get your wedding done. So it doesn't matter who you are on the day, because the spotlight's not going to be on us, it's going to be you as a couple. Okay, so we're going to finish off, guys. Jamie, that sounds awesome, Sagar. Thank you. Bhavisha, love the screen idea. Please show a picture. Bhavisha, I'm sure, yeah, Upesh has sent a link. I will also send you photos that I've got from that day. I'll WhatsApp it to you so it gives you some kind of idea. Avatar, for all our services and outstanding products, please contact Saga directly. He is an authorized person for us. Okay, Avatar, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, look, guys, just I'll do whatever I can, of course, time permitting, but I will definitely get back to you. Even if it's not when you want me to, I will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Um, Ketna, can't wait to get back to doing what I love. Ketna is a makeup artist, so definitely reach out to Ketna. I haven't seen Ketna for such a long time, since I did her wedding. Dino, on another note, if you want a Netflix recommendation, please check out my son. I'm definitely gonna. Oh yeah, Informer. So Dino's son was in Informer. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. I know this is going off wedding now, but it is really, really good. I only found out he's Dino's son after the show because I knew he looked like Dino, but I couldn't sort of pinpoint that. Nikesh Patel, if restrictions raised to 30 guests for home celebrations, such as Mendy nights, would you provide private virtual live streams with you DJ? Yes, definitely. There's so many different types of live streaming, guys, right? You have to, one, figure out your budget. As I said, it can be anything from £300 to £900. But then the service you get with it comes with that money you pay, right? Some people that do it for, like myself, I used to do it when all the COVID weddings, when people just wanted something just so that people can see it, not the highest of quality, and I used to always be upfront, show them a what do you call it, a demo, and saying, look, it's dark, it's light at some points, depending on the venue lighting, but I don't know any of that. I'm not a videographer. I'm not even a photographer. So I can't advise you on what cameras are good. But, I use my webcam and, they pay £300 and yeah, cool. But the quality that you're going to get from someone like Outline AV, where their equipment is worth whatever it is worth, you're going to get the staff managing that and different aspects of your wedding. So when the bride walks in, the camera goes round to catch the bride walking. Whereas when I'm doing it, because it's a webcam on a stand, I have to quickly run to the central and then turn the camera around. So that's the different type of quality. When you want it seamless, maybe it's worth paying the extra £300-400 because you won't even see the people doing the live streaming running around. It's all desk managed, everything's set up. No one's going to trip over wires, but it is literally flawless. And I think I can only mention, there are so many guys in terms of live. You got Cookies Production, you got JVS, you got Outline AV, you got plenty more smaller companies as well. So it's what meets your budget, guys. Okay, I know Upesh has sent a link, so check out Upesh's link, Avari Events link, sorry, on the live streaming. There's a demo, sort of one of the weddings that we did in October, and you can see the quality of what they do. And Ketna, too long. Yes, I know, it's been too long. Jamie, nice. And on a final note, Dwani, loved it, so good. Thank you so much, guys. I know I've taken an hour and 20 minutes. Main thing is, I just hope you found this useful. If you need to reach out, then reach out to the suppliers individually if you want to. You can contact me if you want. Just Facebook message me if you don't have my number, or WhatsApp me, or whatever you want to do. I'll try and help you with whatever I can in terms of, it doesn't have to be DJ music, it doesn't have to be event management, it could be anything irrelevant to that. Just other suppliers, I can maybe guide you. Once I know your vision, I can maybe refer you to the right people who can help you with that vision. It's your wedding, it's not our wedding, right? And I make that very clear because some people say to me, Sagar, can you choose an entrance song for me? And I'm like, I can't choose an entrance for you because I'm not walking down the aisle with you. Okay? So whatever you decide, it has to come from you. We can only guide you once we know your vision. And once you visualize, it'll make it so much easier for us to actually execute that vision as a collective with all the suppliers working together. Okay? That's the sort of the final note that I want to get to. Wedding insurances, I know someone just mentioned, they've just WhatsApped me. Wedding insurance is a bit difficult at the moment, it keeps changing, but I'm still looking into it. And so once I know, once I have more clarity, I will let you know on the wedding insurances side of things. I will also get back to you for people that questioned about the Mendy parties and events at home. I'll look into that for you guys as well. I think I have gone through everything I wanted to. If there's anything that I've missed out, guys, please comment or please message me. And I don't want to take up too much of your time, so we can talk about it offline. Please do share this video once I put it on YouTube or Facebook. Share with other people that you may think are getting married that couldn't join today because of other commitments. Hopefully they'll get some kind of clarity from this as well. And yeah, share away, guys. All the best to all the couples that have joined today. If if I'm not actually, if they're not one of my couples, then all the best for your wedding planning. And again, please do reach out if there's anything that we can help you with, guys. So thank you so much, Ram, Jessica, that's great info. Thank you so much, Rena. This was great. So again, like I mentioned, as a collective in terms of Sagar Vyas Weddings and Events, we have collaborated Red Pearl Creation. So we do a whole package in terms of mandaps, decor, um, DJing, event management. But saying that, what I mean, we work together as suppliers, that, we might not have something in stock of what you visualized, and that's okay. But ask first. We can go through what we have, and if we can't accommodate your wedding, we're not going to push something on you that you didn't want in the first place. We will always refer you to the right people, and this is where suppliers work together. Okay. Dixa, very useful. Thank you. Dino, wine time, baby. Just saying, yeah, wine time. Yeah, definitely, guys. I need to sort of yeah, just process what I've just said as well, because I think I was just talking. But guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for joining. Keep sharing, and hopefully you guys will reach out to whoever you want to reach out to in terms of suppliers. They have the same mindset as I do. Maybe their policies and their procedures are different depending on what industry bit they're in, but we are all very nice people. We don't bite. So don't just constantly email, call us. Once you call us, we find information for you. We can help you guys, okay? Ketna, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining. And I will share the YouTube link on my Facebook page once I've uploaded it. And then if anyone wants it personal, just drop me a WhatsApp message and I'll send it to you personally on WhatsApp. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of today, Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. Enjoy. See you later, guys. Hope to see all of you when lockdown ends. Thank you. Bye.